Huh. And to think, it all started with a 50p. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Who Knows. And today we're going to be reviewing Lucky Day. And it is definitely a lucky day for us fans because this was such a great episode from the start to the finish. Jumping into the review itself, good job, Russell T Davies. Good job. But jumping into the review, it starts off with Belinda and the Doctor landing on Earth, which I thought, oh my god, okay, this didn't take too long. I thought this was going to drag out a little bit longer, but we're on Earth. But the Vindicator has dropped them on Earth in the year 2007. And you can tell that Belinda's starting to get a wee bit impatient now. You know, she's around normal surroundings again, like Earth surroundings. Like, come on, Doctor, can we just go quickly back to 2025, please? And the Doctor picks up a 50p. It's his lucky day. And during their little moment of arguing and about where the hell we are, a child appears. And that child is flabbergasted. Flabbergasted at the fact that he's just seen a blue box dematerialize right in front of him. Two people have jumped out of it, and he's just completely starstruck. You know, he's just completely like, oh my god, what the hell? And the Doctor gives this child a 50p. You know, it's Christmas, it's Happy New Year type thing. Here's some money. And straight away he takes the money and he goes to his mother to try and tell her, like, oh my god, something just happened, something crazy just happened, like this TARDIS landed, and the Doctor and Belinda, and I need you to help, you know, listen to me. I think this is the trigger point, because obviously the mother literally goes to Conrad and doesn't believe him. You're ruining the Atmos. Bugger off. Go away for a minute. And I think generally that was the trigger point for him to go on this journey to prove that the Doctor exists. But I think the deeper part of this is, I think this is kind of a throw into conspiracy theories. So, for example, if you are one of these people who really enjoy conspiracy theories and stuff like that, it can consume your life. And it can do it in two ways. It can do it in an okay, like healthy way, where you know, like there's a slight bit of truth to it, and there's not. And then there's this unhealthy obsession where Conrad has went to so much into like a Joe Rogan podcaster where he's like, I've this was the age of 8, this was the reason why I started the sci-fi podcast. I've been following people trying to get stories. So I'd say there's a lot of hate build up. Now that's the thing that was surprised me. I was expecting this to be like a fun little like discovery moment where this person's been inspired by the Doctor and wants to know more about him, and have went on these amazing journeys, and then we're going to get them to see, finally meet the Doctor, and it's going to be a fun time. Not the way I was expecting it. So how it starts off with this part is he sees the Doctor's TARDIS again after 17 years, and it's just in a perfect moment because this is just after the Beatles episode. So it's a nice little like in moment of timeline wise. So the Doctor and Ruby Sunday has returned. Uh, it's the half adventures. Now, in that moment, when Conrad walks into the store, I genuinely thought to myself, oh my god, the Autons have appeared again. We're going to get window shop dummies and plastic things, because I think they intentionally did that to make you go, oh, because you see all these dummies covered in plastic sheets, like it's an abandoned shop. And I was expecting, even to that moment, when they have a window shop dummy at the top of the escalator and that horror themed angle, and I'm like, oh Jesus, that thing's gonna move. Not what I was expecting was this new villain or creature, the Shriek, which was this nightmare fueled creature that lives in a pocket dimension between time, I believe. Uh, and how it basically feeds on a person is by fear. It wants the adrenaline. It wants you to be utterly terrified before it rips you from limb to limb. And how it does this is mark you with ooze. Ivan Ooze. Sorry, I was watching Power Rangers here recently, so that was stuck in my head. But when I seen the goo, that was like, oh, tangent moment. But anyway, so it marks you with this like ooze, vomit, as the doctor describes it, and it goes into your blood system, and it basically makes you pray for a later time. That's terrifying. The fact is, you think you might have, imagine you survived, you got away from this creature, it marks you, and you get away, and you think you're safe. You're not safe. It will come for you at some point. Uh, and the doctor explains, Ruby gets hit by this as well, but the doctor gives her an antidote. But Conrad has no antidote, and he takes a picture of Ruby and posts it online. Basically, anyone know who this woman is? He goes off and has this wonderful time of becoming a conspiracy theorist. Has done podcast, all that vibes, and then Ruby shows up at his place. This is perfect moment. It's like I finally get to interview somebody, and I was expecting this was a quite nice surprise, where yes, Unit is now kind of in the public domain. Like they know, everybody knows off Unit because they can't hide it anymore. There's been alien invasions, Cybermen attacks, the whole shebang. Uh, so it's kind of a, yeah, no, we're a public defense force. So yes, you're not going to know exactly what we do, but we're here to defend planet Earth from alien threats. And it's kind of cool to see that in this day and age, because it's like, okay, what if the government just went, yeah, okay, aliens exist, and we have this task force that is there to deal with it. What would that be like in the general public? Like, it's like, okay, do we live our normal lives, or do we question what they do, or what would it be in this atmosphere? And I think this was a good episode to show that. So when they're doing their interview with Ruby, he tries to get more information out of her, but she won't like tell too much. She does come on board to talk about Unit, saying that the Unit are doing a wonderful job. They are here to protect us, and he's leaning on the way of going like, well, are they though? Like they're very secretive. What do we do? But it turns into a nice little moment where, if you even notice this too, and I like this little thing, I don't think anyone's picked it up on it yet, but he's such a great way. He obsessed with the Doctor, that he dresses like the Doctor. He's wearing a tweed long coat. He's wearing the same shoes as the Doctor, and these are little elements for Ruby. I think in a sad way, it's like the ultimate trap, because Ruby's going through a lot. Ruby's going through a lot because she has just fought the god of death. She's processing all the adventures with the Doctor, and it's kind of cool to see the after effects of being with the Doctor. Now, it has been touched on before very briefly. Like, we got it with Sarah Jane Smith, we got it with Rose Tyler and stuff, and other companions as well, but nothing to the extent of, wow, this happened to me and I can't tell anybody this because everyone will think I'm insane. So it's a PTSD moment. They do say that in the episode itself. But Ruby's waiting for the Doctor. Ruby hasn't really moved on and is in a constant flux of anxiety, and processing the fact that she's had all these fantastic adventures. So it's quite nice to actually meet somebody who is technically doing the same thing, as searching for the Doctor, has started an entire podcast, has dedicated their life to find the Doctor, and it's someone that you have similar interests with and you can talk to. So I think it's kind of a therapeutic way for Ruby to process it. And then they start doing a date. datey dates. He asks her out after the podcast, and Ruby explains why she's there and explains that the Shriek has returned and has obviously marked someone for death. And turns out it's you. But nevertheless, here's the antidote, and everything's happy go lucky. He shows her his lucky 50p, and they start dating, which is quite nice because also we get to see Ruby's entire family again. It's really nice to see them all the actors come back to play their roles. Next, we get Conrad taking Ruby to where he lives, his village, and it's quite nice, nice little village. I love the fact that one of Ruby's family members grabbed her arm before she left and was like, "I've been to those villages. Not the best, not the best atmosphere. There's always something wrong." And her mother reassures her, going like, "Don't worry, she's seen the Wicker Man." And I'd be honest with you, if I watched the Wicker Man, I'd probably have the same mindset. But Ruby really can't, like, she tries her best to mingle with his friends, but starts to notice that the lights are starting to flicker, starts to panic, and makes a call to Kate and Unit to explain, is the Shriek here? What's going on? And Kate has checked the signs that there is nothing untoward, and basically reassures her to relax, enjoy your night, go off and be normal. Everything's covered. The other thing I did like about this is we get to see a wee bit more of Unit, because I feel like the last bar the special, anytime Unit has appeared, there's kind of just like they're there, a flash in the pan moment. They're only there for a few minutes and then or seconds, and then they're gone. This was quite cool to actually have them be a big part of this episode. And it was also a nice little in-depth moment more with Kate, because there seems to be a romance in the office with her and Soldier Man. I can't remember Soldier Man's name, Captain Soldier Man. But yes, it was quite nice to see that there's like a little bit more to Kate and Unit with that. So it's nice. But then the other thing made me think, oh God, it's Doctor Who. They're going to do this. We're going to fall in love with Mr. Captain Soldier Man and Kate having this like lovely moment, and then he's going to get shot in the back. And then it's just this, oh no, Mr. Soldier Man, why? Because like it's like any romance in any TV show or movie. As soon as you start to get the feels, immediately they're going to be killed. Surprisingly, it didn't happen. I expected it to happen, but Ruby tries to get back to, hey, everything's fine, and he starts to realize that there's not something. Conrad starts to realize that, hey, look, if you need to talk, we can talk. And she does. She opens up and goes like, I just had this full year of absolute craziness happen, and I'm still processing it, and it's going to take me a while to get back to normal. And I think we can all understand and feel that when you've had something really bad happen, that it takes a long time. It takes a long time to move on and process stuff. But you didn't get a chance to move on or process anything, because the lights start to flicker again, and we see the Shriek start appearing out of nowhere, and one of Conrad's friends has disappeared, maybe been killed by the Shriek, and he then confesses to Ruby that he didn't take the serum. And you can see the gut wrenching punch to the throat, basically, from Ruby, going like, you had one job. You had one job. And you can see him going like, I want to be as brave as the Doctor. It's like, oh God, it's one of those obsessed people that wants to be like their favorite character in a TV show or someone that they inspire to be. And he's went over the edge with it. And this is the part where you're like, dude, you've gone too far now. You've betrayed Ruby. You're putting the villagers' lives in danger. One of your friends is potentially killed. And Ruby calls in Unit. And we get that lovely moment with the unit with the helicopter and all the soldiers and stuff. It's like, okay, we're gonna have a proper brawl for all here. And then we don't get that. We get teased. And man, this was the ultimate fuck you. Generally, I was pissed because Conrad shows his true colors in this, where the creatures aren't creatures; they're his minions in costume. And he's smart. He goes on live stream. You can't do nothing to me. Unit are lying. Where's all the money going? Where's all this technology said that would be public domain? It's not. And he makes the think tank this whole group, and you're like, oh, you bastard. I think we could all at that moment go, oh, you've hurt Ruby, and you don't do that. And if you're struggling with PTSD and then someone pulls a rug underneath you, that I felt that. I generally felt that pain. I was like, oh, you wanted to punch him. You generally wanted to punch him. Eventually, Unit do arrest him, but then obviously because he's one of these type of people, there's public sympathy, and he gets out. And then he starts to spew his utter shite, which people, unfortunately, social media does this, where they'll take a narrative and they'll run with it, and there's hashtag unit lies, and it gets so bad that it goes into Parliament, where they're starting to cut their funding, and the fear is, oh my god, the technology we have, this goes public. God knows who could take it. Could you imagine a dictator having technology that we have, and like, would it be just complete genocide if we can't have this happen? So they have to try and figure out who the Conrad is. And there is that little moment in the village where Conrad speaks to Kate and says, I think you remember me. And she tries to figure it out, and eventually she figures it out and realizes, oh yes, now I remember who you are. You're the guy who came here to want to be a part of Unit. And whatever that interview was, it made Kate go, no, you can't be trusted. And it gets to the point where he even infiltrates Unit alone. Badass move. I'll give Conrad that. Badass move, but still it was like, you're a dick. There's no way of saving this person. He's just one of those people you're like, no, you can't. And then he wants to make you hate him even more, because then he brings up the Brigadier, like his entire life's work is a lie, and that pisses off Kate. And this is the other thing I really love too, that I have complained before that, oh, there's a non-doctor episode. But this one genuinely didn't need the doctor in it. And I was expecting it coming to this moment where the doctor would appear behind in the TARDIS and go, you bastard! And give him a talking to with fists. But, and I was like, don't spoil it. Don't ruin it. But it doesn't happen that way. He pisses off Kate, and Kate gets to the point where, all right, I'm happy the doctor's not here, because the doctor would stop me from doing this. And she releases the shriek to prove to Conrad, you want proof that there's alien threats? You want proof, the reason why we're here to protect you? Here's all the proof you get. She orders everybody to stand down and let the shriek just rip this person apart. And I was like, damn, this is what we need. This is the type of leader in Unit that we need. It gave me brilliant vibes of the Brigadier, because you have to remember, in the classic era, the Brigadier was a total badass. Didn't listen to the Doctor half the time. Like, think about it. Look what he did with the Silurians. The Doctor was literally talking the Silurians down, of like, stand down and we'll be together. And and literally the Brigadier goes, nah, just nuke them. I can't be bothered with that. Just send a torpedo, blow them up. There we go. Boom, done. Alien threat detected. Alien threat eliminated. That's my job. And there was multiple times the Brigadier did that. But with Kate, she's more compassionate. She's more understanding. And I was like, well, we need that military mindset were like, well, I'm not going to listen to you. Whether you're the main authority or not, I am going to override you. And this is what we needed. I think generally this made me go respect Kate even more, where I'm like, okay, we got a badass. We got a badass. I like this. But generally, I would think to myself, oh my God, are we going to get this? Is he going to be ripped from limb to limb? Thankfully, he doesn't, but you're kind of going, Ruby comes in and saves the day and does the old taser face. And the streak goes down. And I thought this was a redemption moment where he would get up and go, I'm so sorry for what I've done. But no, he's our colossal dick. Where he goes, oh yeah, at least your special effects got better. And I was more happy when the Shriek started ripping his arm apart. I'm like, yeah. But then I thought myself too, where I was like, oh my God, did they like kill him off screen? Because there was no like, it cut the black and we're just having this moment with Ruby kind of processing the fact that she let somebody into her life after the doctor, and this person was an absolute bastard. He was there just to infiltrate unit and spread this hate propaganda, and he would do it at any length. So that's a lot for Ruby to process, and you can see that Kate is kind of like sympathetic and trying to go like, "Are you okay?" And Ruby's just like, I'm kind of burnt out. I need to step away from all this and regrind myself. And yeah, I totally would 100% understand that Ruby needs to take a break from this because, god damn. Then we get the moment where Clark he's in prison, and the TARDIS appears, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. And the Doctor comes at the very end of this episode and is an utter cold Doctor. Like, this is the first proper time I could say that this version of the Doctor was dark, because you need a little bit of darkness with this app with the Doctor. You know, it's just a smidge, and this was perfect. The fact that he talked Conrad down, where Conrad thinks as though this is intervention, you're going to try and change my mind, you're going to try and thing. This was such a crazy thing because you have to remember it was the doctor who gave him a 50p, not thinking this would go anywhere. And this person takes that, doesn't get believed by his mum, obviously for years doesn't get believed that there's this doctor in TARS. And then instead of being inspired by the doctor, he turns it into hate, an utter hate, and wants to bring the doctor down and everything around him, like tear down everything what the doctor's been trying to do. And it's great the fact the doctor has that little talk with them where he's like, this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to save humanity. I'm trying to keep humanity protected, because people just want to live their lives, and that's absolutely right. Everyone just wants to live their life day after day and enjoy themselves, not to have constant threats all the time. But this cold, dark moment when he just goes, I can't save this guy. And he tells him his future, which is a no-no. But he does it because he's just a vile asshole, where he's like, here's your future. You're going to die in prison. You're going to be forgotten. You're not even a footnote in history. That's what's going to happen to you. And you think that that would finally rattle Conrad, but it doesn't. He responds in the darkest way, where he's like, I don't accept your reality. Send me back to prison and get off my planet. And you're like, okay. And I thought to myself, Jesus, this is going to be like a proper threat, because are they building this guy up to be the next villain? And if they are, holy hell, I am there for it. Because I haven't hated a character in Doctor Who in a long time, like a villain. And fair dues to the actor, and fair dues to I hate Conrad. I don't like him. But I want the, if confronting the Doctor doesn't knock you sideways and you're threatening the doctor, you're like, ooh, ooh, okay. And then, lo and behold, aka the Rani, or Miss Flood, appears at the end to give Conrad his freedom. And I'm like, I am really looking forward to this finale, because is it going to be a whole build up? Is she collecting people to take on the Doctor? What is this? And I genuinely would be, as I said, disappointed it was not the Rani, because goddamn, guys, we've wanted this character back for a long time. We've had the time with the Sound of Drums, where you tease us with the hand, and you're like, oh, it's the Rani taking the Master's ring and saving the day, and oh, there's this hand again, which I do believe that was Miss Flood at the very beginning, at the specials, taking the tooth away. Or it could be the cult. It could be the Master's gang of people. Who knows? Who knows? But I cannot wait. This episode was brilliant. I'll be honest with you. Every episode so far has been great. There hasn't been any like downer moments or crappy moments, or oh, that episode didn't do too well. I think people have copped on since series one. This has been a pleasant time with series two. So that's it. That's it. My silly rambling nonsense review is done. So thank you so much for watching this review. If you do like it, please like and subscribe, and tell your friends. Have discussions in the comments section as well. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you think the 50p was worth it in the end? God, as I say, 50p caused a villain, created a villain. That is genius. So thank you all for watching, and until then, I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye, everybody.